Hey guys, welcome back to What the F Are We Eating Now? Well, tonight we're making one of our personal dishes. I don't think anybody's ever made it. I've never seen it before. It's called Kielbasa Veggie Supreme. So in this, we're gonna have Polska kielbasa sausage, ground turkey, mushrooms, and we've got all kinds of vegetables: broccoli, Brussels sprouts, potatoes, bell peppers, onions, zucchini, squash, and my personal favorite, mixed vegetables with green beans and sweet peas, corn and carrots. Now I'm going to move all this stuff out of the way and we're going to get started. We're going to cut an onion first. Let me wipe this down and then let me start cutting on my onion. I'm going to bring a bowl up here so that way I can put my onion in it. We're going to chunk this pretty good. I peeled it beforehand, so I'm gonna actually cut this a little more. Kind of want to dice it a little bit better than I did the other day whenever I made my enchiladas. Okay, so let me pick these up and put them here. It's okay if they're chunky because they're gonna sweat down anyway. I'm gonna reach back here and grab the kielbasa here. I'm probably going to use 2 of these, not 3. All right, fine, I'll use 3. Okay, maybe. I won't use any if I can't get it open. Okay, hold on just a sec. These kielbasas, I'm going to cut them up and I'm going to set them up here so that way I have room. Cut that in half. And get another bowl. Actually, I want a bigger bowl this time, so I'm going to put that one right here. And we're just going to cut them in coins, I guess. They seem to, I like whenever they're browned on both sides, so. We'll coin them up. Got a runner. I'll get him. All right, guys, so let me cut up all of these here and then I'll be right back with you right after. All right, guys, so we're all done with our kielbasa cutting. So we're gonna move over to the stove where we're gonna put these in the skillet. All right, so I'm gonna start off by turning the stove onto like a medium heat. And I'm gonna add some olive oil to my pan. Okay, so I'm gonna add the kielbasa into the skillet. Skillet's hot. Okay, we're going to give these a stir. I like them to be a little bit brown. We're just going to toss them around in this oil here. All right, while I'm tossing this, I'm going to ask you guys a couple of questions. Do you guys like fully cooked, like, browned edges on your kielbasa? Or do you prefer just heated? I like them darker than this, of course, so I got to keep turning this so that way I can get them burned, almost burned. How's your guys' day going, or night? I'm enjoying cooking. That's what I'm doing. I was just curious of what you guys enjoy. Do you guys enjoy evening cooking, or? Let me explain a little bit about this dish. This dish is something that's pretty easy to make. It doesn't take too long. But it's also a hearty dish that could feed quite a few people. And the goal of this is it's budget friendly and it's good for you. There's lots of vegetables. I don't know if this is good for you. That's a lot of grease, but what I'm saying is you've got protein and you're going to have lots of vegetables in here. And it's a meal that stretches, especially if you've got kids, picky kids. They like kielbasa. I mean, I know I did when I was a kid. I don't know if maybe things have changed. But we're going to let this set just a little bit. And we're going to let it caramelize and cook up on the edges some more. All right, guys, we're checking on our kielbasa here. You see that it's caramelizing pretty good and it's starting to get brown. Wanted to go over a few things about, the cost of everything. Kielbasa, I got 3 of these at our local Ralph's or Smith's for like $11. And they do go quite far. You can stretch them. The things I'm going to be putting in, or the items I'm going to be putting in here, are like sliced baby Bella mushrooms. Those you can get for like maybe $3. I probably won't use the whole 3 pounds, but you can get 3 pounds of ground turkey for $10. And then each one of these bags of vegetables that I'm going to be putting in they were roughly $2 a piece. So it's quite affordable. I do remember eating this as a kid. Growing up, my grandmother would make this. There were 6 of us in our family, 6 kids. You can see how they're browning up here. This is awesome. Tell me what you would put in this, or what you think would go better in that. I'd love to hear your suggestions. Let's give it a quick stir here. All right, so we're going to go ahead and take this and we're going to pour it in this bowl. These are pretty much done for the most part. We're going to remove them from the pan, and then we'll start on our ground turkey. All right, so we're going to open up our turkey here, and I'm going to add this to our skillet here. I had cleaned up my pan because, you know, it's caramelized. It makes for a bigger mess. I'm going to go ahead and add the turkey in here. That's 3 pounds of ground turkey. And we're going to go ahead and let this brown. So in order to do that, I would like to put the lid on it, so that way the moisture stays in and it all cooks together. All right, so let's check the meat here and see how we've done. Ground turkey's coming along just fine. I'm going to let this cook a little bit more because I want it to brown a bit. So I'm just going to give it a good toss here, and then we'll let it simmer uncovered this time, and we'll check it at about 3 minutes. All right, guys, so it's been about a minute uncovered. It's looking like it's going to get a bit drier here, so I'm going to add just a little bit of water. I've got roughly a half a cup of water here. This should help it out a little bit. I'll lower the heat just a tiny bit. So what I'm trying to do is I want to get it browned a little. I mean, it's starting to in parts, but I want to try to brown it up a little bit more. It's going to go in with a lot of vegetables, so I don't want it to be like soupy, if that makes sense. I don't want it runny. I want it to be hearty. So I'm going to go ahead and let this set for probably another minute, and we'll give it a turn and come back and revisit. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and turn this a little bit. We're going to go ahead and remove it from the heat, and we're going to transfer it to a bowl. Let's get it all in this bowl. Okay, turn that flame off. We're going to set this aside. Okay, everybody, I'm going to put this on medium heat. I actually washed the pan after I emptied out the turkey. I'm going to put it on medium heat, and to this I'm going to add some butter. It's probably like 2.5 tablespoons of butter, and I'm going to let that melt up. This is going to be a good base. We're going to start our onions. All right, guys, butter's pretty much melted. I'm going to go ahead and add our onion in. Let's get that tossed around. I had it on medium heat. I'm going to turn it up just a little bit. Want to caramelize these onions a little and get them translucent. And pretty soon we're going to add all of the goodness. The stuff that ties this entire recipe together. The missing link, if you will. I'm going to start stirring these around until they get a little bit more translucent, and then I'm going to add our mushrooms. But while I'm stirring, I'll ask a couple of questions. Does anybody have any uncommon recipes, maybe recipes that they've never seen done, that maybe they grew up with? If you have any recipes like that, or if you actually cook recipes like that, please link me in the comments. Link them in the comments. I want to take a look at it because I'm very curious. I haven't seen this before anywhere. I said that already, but I'm just curious if anyone else has recipes that they would like to share that they've never seen, you know, just uncommon recipes. All right. Okay, I'm giving these a stir. They're starting to come together. I'm going to be adding the mushrooms here in just a second or two. All right, I'm going to start cutting these mushrooms open here, and we're going to add those in here with it. Just going to dump them in. These have to wilt down and render. So we'll be tossing these in with our onions, sort of sweating them down. Here's where the flavor starts happening. You notice I didn't put any spices or anything in the meats yet, so it's because I want those flavors from the vegetables to incorporate into the meat. I will be adding my famous garlic and herb spices into it, but I want the vegetables to sweat down a little bit so that way we can get those flavors in, so we can incorporate them into the meats. Again, I'm using no salt, no salt garlic and herb here, because with the kielbasa has quite a bit of salt in it. Gotta run away. So I don't want to overpower it with salt. I'm going to add a little bit more butter here, because you see it's getting a little dry, so I'm going to add a little more butter. Let me cut that off real quick. It's about another 2 tablespoons of butter here. I'm going to sweat that into these here. The smell here is amazing. Just mushrooms and onions. Such a good smell. Alright guys, you see how the butter has started making like a little gravy in here with these vegetables, with the onions and the mushrooms? This is a perfect time to start adding our other vegetables, so we're going to start doing that right now. We'll start with our mixed vegetables. Let me get these. They're still kind of frozen. So. We'll start with our mixed vegetables here. Oh, runaway carrot. Got it. Runaway onion. Got that too. Okay, we'll start mixing these in here. Now we're going to add another vegetable. These are going to give us some liquid too, because they're going to be covered. All right, we're going to start with where we'll add our bell peppers and onions and potatoes. Bell peppers, onions, and potatoes coming in. Okay, let me go ahead and get those all stirred in. Oops. I lost an onion. Lost another one. They're going in. There's one on me. Okay, so these have red onions, bell peppers, potatoes, red potatoes, and some zucchini. All right, right, guys. So I want to stretch this out as far as I can to its fullest potential. So I'm actually going to put this in a bigger pot because we have a lot more to add here. All right, we're going to put our bigger pot here. So we've got a Dutch oven. I do want to add just a little bit of olive oil here because I don't want anything to stick. So I'm going to pick this one up and I'm going to literally pour it inside this Dutch oven. We have other vegetables to add here. So go ahead and get this emptied out. Whoops. Let me get rid of this. All right, so we put it in our Dutch oven. Giving us a little bit of room. I'm going to add some Brussels sprouts. I'm going to go ahead and put those in there. They're kind of small, which is nice because it keeps it gives us more room. So I'm going to put my Brussels sprouts in here. And then I've got some broccoli I'm going to add in here as well. So we're going to add our broccoli florets. Adding some broccoli. Let's give this a nice stir. Now, to this, I'm going to start adding flavors. So we have the butter, we have the other vegetables, and I'm going to start adding the garlic and herb. It's salt-free, so I'm just going to start throwing that in there so we can get some good flavor going. We're going to cover this so that way all these can marry and make lots of flavor. I'm going to stir this stuff up here. I'm going to stir these vegetables in. Give them a good turn. We've already seasoned some of this. We're going to be adding more seasoning too. But I need to cover these so they can start steaming. So I'm going to get the lid and I'm going to put the lid on top. I'm going to leave our heat at medium so that way all the juices can start being pulled out of the vegetables. Alrighty, I just kicked the camera, I'm sorry. We're going to go ahead and start adding the kielbasa in here that we cooked earlier. So let me start by dropping it in. Give it a good stir. All right, this is already smelling awesome. We're going to let this cook down a little bit. The vegetables, we're going to let them cook a little more and let the kielbasa throw some flavor in there. Then we'll be back to add some turkey. Let's see what this is doing. Look at that. That's amazing. Oh. And you know what? I wanted to also say that you don't have to use these vegetables. These are just particular vegetables that we like. You can use whatever vegetable you want. If you're particular to that slimy okra, you go for it. I don't like that stuff. You go ahead and throw okra in there. But I like potatoes. I love Brussels sprouts, green beans, peas are awesome. Carrots, of course. And I love zucchini. So I like that sort of thing. And I love bell peppers and onions. So that's why I put what I put in here. You guys, you know, the grocery stores, they have tons of different vegetables that, you know, if you like them, throw them in. This is not a you have to use what we use kind of recipe. This is a use what you got or what you like and call it whatever you want. As you can see, this is a lot of food. And this is going to stretch. You know, the last time I made this was at a potluck and it went like, they went crazy for this. But it also freezes well too. So if you're looking for like, oh my gosh, I don't have a lot of bowls to put this in and keep it in the fridge, well, it freezes really nicely. And we gave it the name Kielbasa Veggie Supreme. All right, we're gonna let this set for a little bit and simmer, and then I'm gonna put the lid back on it, and then we'll come back and we'll put our turkey in. Alrighty. Give this a little stir. Now I'm gonna start adding the turkey in here. Pot's getting fuller. Put that in here. You can see turkey's dry. So with all these vegetables, this is gonna moisten up pretty well. Go ahead and stir this stuff. I hear it. It's like a vegetable goulash. It's pretty cool. But it does stretch quite far. And you can serve this over rice, noodles. You could eat it just like it is. If you have like I don't know, beef stock, chicken stock, you can always cook up some of your stock, and you can add this to your stock and make like a soup. I mean, it's versatile. It's amazing. Let me get this stirred up. All right, now I need to add some more seasonings to it so I can get that meat going. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and add some more seasoning to this. That turkey is going to pick up the vegetables flavor, you know, because I mean it's got a lot of, with the butter and all the vegetables and all the flavors from the veggies, it's going to incorporate into that meat. So I'm also going to add some pepper to this because I love black pepper, and I think black pepper really highlights a lot of flavors, wakes up the taste buds and such. Now I didn't salt any of this because of the kielbasa. I usually salt it after I put it on a plate because some people like salt, some people don't. I don't like a lot of salt myself, but I don't normally put salt in something like this because, well, I don't want it to get overwhelming, and if you put too much salt, then you've ruined the whole thing for everyone else that don't like salt. So I just do it my way. So let me go ahead and lift this and drop it, lift it and drop it, and then we're going to cover it again, and we're going to let it simmer for about 5 more minutes. All right, everybody. I'm going to go ahead and give this a final stir. I'm going to go ahead and turn it off. It is done. Look at all that goodness. I'm going to go ahead and plate this up. And I will meet you back for a taste test. We did let this cook for a little bit. It was on low, so I mean, it cooked for maybe about 15 minutes. All right, I'm going to go ahead and plate this up. Look at that. It smells great. Looks great. All kinds of colors in there. I'm going to go ahead and meet you guys back for a taste test. Look at this plate, bro. Look at it. Look at it. Look at all of the kielbasa, all the vegetables, all that heartiness all in one plate. Oh, man. And it smells amazing. All right, taste test. Oh boy. Got Brussels sprouts. Let's see, there's so much to choose from. I don't know what to stab first. Brussels sprouts, kielbasa. I'll take that pea and I'll put it on my fork because it fell off, and that's worth it. And I just blew it off. I lost a carrot. I'm gonna grab it. Got it. Oh man. Yeah. This is what the F we're eating now. Wow, look at all that. That's amazing. And this dish, I'm telling you, you can do so much with this. You can modify this all you want. I mean, in fact, I'm gonna actually put red chili flakes on this because that's like something I dig. So I'm gonna sprinkle some of that on here because I do like spice. So I'm gonna just sprinkle a few on here. I'm gonna grab me another bite. While I'm trying to grab a bite, because I'm fighting with these vegetables, probably should have used a spoon because there's just so much to pick up. Like, share, follow, comment, please comment. Tell me what you would have done differently, what vegetables you like and what you would put in this. But I'm telling you right now, this is probably one of the best dishes I've had in a while. That's great. Just awesome. Well, I'm trying to finish this bite. Sorry. I got a pepper. Woohoo! That's what I was waiting for. All right. Well, the ingredients are going to be in the description. And the recipe is going to be there too, obviously. The recipe will be in the description. You guys enjoy. We'll see you guys on the next one. Oh my God.